All right, so let's just get this started. In the last month or so, I've gotten probably like 4,000 more YouTube subscribers.
Yeah.
After doing literally zero work on YouTube.
Not a single video was
I haven't
made.
put anything out. And so there's all these new subscribers, and I kind of feel like, all right, it's about time. All these people who subscribe to me, I feel like they shouldn't have subscribed for absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
So I also really enjoy podcasts. Like, I listen to podcasts all the time. And not to say that this would be a podcast, but just this is something I feel like I could do, is just sit down and talk. And
For like a long form.
yeah, and like I said, a lot of it comes down to all these new YouTube subscribers. Got to do something, got to put something out there.
We need some exclusive YouTube content.
Exactly. I can't keep just posting my TikToks to YouTube that
lazy.
are like 15 seconds long.
Yeah.
So the first thing is just, who are we?
Just like a introduction for anybody new who just followed because of TikTok. Because I mean, they know you through TikTok, but like not really, unless they've joined like a live or something.
Yeah.
They don't really. So why don't you go with that?
So who we are? Who am I? I mean, like, I'm Carson James Argenna, and life has been, it's definitely my real name. And in the last the last month or so, I've gotten way more like attention for my music than I've ever gotten in the past, which has just been so cool because I love music, I love songwriting, and prior to stuff happening for me on TikTok, which I'll sort of explain later on, at least from my perspective, what happened. Prior to that, really, the only people who would hear songs I wrote were friends and family, and that's cool. But it's just nice to sort of be appreciated by strangers, people who don't know me.
Yeah.
When somebody knows you, you just can't trust what they say.
It's a different type of
yeah,
vibe,
exactly.
Sure.
And even like the Soulmates song, I remember, which is the song that kind of has done it all for me. I remember showing that song to people, and even like people I knew, people being like, yeah, but it's not your best, and
yeah.
Which I'm like, I kind of agree with them, to be honest. I think I have better stuff out there. But it's surreal, really. But it's cool, and I'm extremely grateful. Like, I feel like no matter, like, everything that happens, it's probably a little, maybe talking about this TikTok, establishing this, like, talking about what's sort of been going on in my life, actually maybe should come before talking about who I am.
Yeah. Well, I think you should even back up a little bit more and talk about what you're doing, because you were posting on TikTok regularly, and you were trying to convince me that it was a good platform to get on early, and I just wasn't sure. I was like, I don't know, man.
Well, you want to know what?
Seems
it's
kind
like
of cheesy.
Because look at what happened to Vine. That
it was here
there was so many. It was here and then gone. So many people got on it, and a lot of people, like, friggin', obviously David Dobrik, Liza Koshy,
Paul brothers.
Yeah, Jake Paul and Logan Paul, and Shawn Mendes.
Yeah.
Like, he's probably the most successful Viner. If we're being realistic.
He's just a mainstream artist.
Yeah, exactly. He's not even... Well, none of the people who got famous from Vine are known for Vine anymore. And,
right.
And I think that TikTok might be the same thing, where I don't know what's going to happen to TikTok, but I just saw Vine. I felt bad that I slept on it.
Yeah.
And...
You saw an opportunity.
I saw TikTok, and I was like, okay, this app is really growing. And I think the thing that stops people from jumping on something is they see what it is and they don't see what it's going to be. Like, when I looked at TikTok, because I'm 22, and it was even more so the case when I joined that TikTok was for young people.
Yeah.
Like, it was mostly,
like
it still
Snapchat,
is a lot of young people.
Kid age, yeah.
Now, like, I'm personally just not bothered by that. I think the youngest generation is extremely intelligent, is really funny. Some of y'all aren't, no offense, but like a lot of them,
Yeah.
and that's just kind of how every generation
Bell
is.
curves,
yeah, exactly.
Streams
That's
rise.
the bell curve. That's just kind of how it is. But a lot of people on it were it definitely impressed me. And sometimes I would try to say to people like, hey, there's this new app, TikTok. You're going to a lot of people will open it up and they'll be like, oh yeah, this is just for kids. And it's like, okay, well, Instagram was just for photographers and MySpace was just for whoever that was kind of before my time. Like,
so
Facebook was just for college students, and these things, like, they evolve really, really quickly.
Well, part of it too, it's not just the age group that turns people off. I think it's that, like, a lot of the content is sort of low quality.
Yeah.
In not in a bad way though. It's like it's
if you try to produce a
quality,
movie, people
good.
Don't want to watch it.
Yeah. Well, you're just not going to do a good job.
Yeah, exactly. Like, really, the best part about TikTok is you just pull out your phone and
just make
shoot
something. Yeah,
exactly.
It doesn't take any special equipment or any. I mean, any. This is gonna sound bad. Any talent, really. If you have a good idea, you can pull it off.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's. It kind of is. I wanted to wait a little bit to talk about, like, just the thoughts on TikTok. I think, not that we need to go in order.
It doesn't need to be structured, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. TikTok is just, it's interesting. One thing I've realized about it is that it values the video over the creator. So here's what TikTok wants. The For You page is everything. The reason it's everything, what makes TikTok so great is that any video that anybody posts, regardless of the popularity, has the potential to blow up. It's not the case with Twitter. It's not the case with YouTube. Like, if I just go and post a video to YouTube without...
It's going to get 0 views.
It's going to get 0 views. It just will get 0 views.
Yeah.
TikTok... every video ends up on the For You page. And so it's kind of like, whether or not it goes viral, this is how I think a helpful way to look at it. Every video, it's like entering in the lottery. Mm-hmm. There's no guarantee. No matter how good it is, there's no guarantee it's going to blow up.
It's a little bit... Yeah, it's definitely random.
Yeah. All you can do is just increase your odds of winning that lottery. Mm-hmm. But you can't expect any of your videos to blow up. If you are posting a TikTok thinking, oh, this is going to blow up. This is definitely going to blow up. You've lost. You've already lost. Just because it's and this is more so the case for when you're a smaller artist. I think since I've gotten a lot more followers now, like, I can expect a certain amount.
Right.
But even in that spectrum, I know which ones failed. Mm-hmm. I even with a lot of followers and with more engagement in general, I know when I was like, oh, I guess that wasn't a good that wasn't a good post. And predicting what is and isn't a good post is you just can't know.
It's just like the free market, right? It's just its own. It's unpredictable,
Yeah.
Now, something that I'm interested in is this ability to go from nothing to a viral video on TikTok. That did exist with a lot of the platforms early on.
Yeah.
But then it stopped being the case because there was so much of it.
And that's what...
You think that's going to be the case with TikTok?
Well, that's the thing, is that I feel like TikTok more than... Like, what's so great about TikTok is the fact that anything goes. Anybody can get somewhere. And I think it depends on the updates they make concerning the For You page. Right now... And to sort of touch back on this, TikTok values the video over the creator. If they start changing that, I think that's when it's going to be harder to get noticed. Because right now, if I try to search for a creator, the easiest way to do it is to go to the search engine, which doesn't fill in.
No,
it doesn't,
it's not great.
It's hard to search for someone, or I have to go to my list of following and see it in order of when I followed the person.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just have to, like, if you want to find someone, you have to go and find them. I almost regret having such a complicated name on TikTok. Carson James Argenna.
Not Argentina. If you search on Google...
No, it's true, yeah.
Argentina.
Well, hopefully we got to change that.
Yeah.
It's been cool, though, to, like, on YouTube, search my name.
Have it autofill.
And then it autofills, like, Carson James Argenna, Soulmates song, TikTok. And I'm like, it's real.
So backing up just a little bit, you've talked about how TikTok values the video, not the creator.
Yeah.
Now, say that were to switch. In some ways, that would be a good thing for you, because it would be easier to develop a stronger fan base, monetize it, all that good stuff.
But bad for new people.
But it would be bad for the platform overall, would you say? Or what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. Because TikTok, here's one of the things, is TikTok isn't American. So just right off the bat, there's a lot less we know about it. You know,
Yeah.
TikTok is a Chinese company,
Yeah.
and up till now,
Which
it's
is
like
weird.
Vine, Facebook, MySpace, Instagram, Google. It's like every major tech company, every major social media up till now, at least major social medias that find their way into America have been American.
And even small things that aren't American, they'd be like European or German, which we understand that culture a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas the Chinese culture is just so radically different with the state-owned companies and stuff like that. It's just not the same.
TikTok goes is a lot less predictable, and I feel like a company like China is going to have a lot more difficult of a time making updates that apply to America, making updates that cater to our culture and the way that we're using the app. Now, that being said, TikTok has headquarters in all countries, so there is an American, but it doesn't change. There's the top down. The top down affects it. Even if there is an American headquarters, it.
No, you're right.
Big Brother being Chinese it just changes things.
Yeah, it does, and that's interesting. Especially, I mean, we don't have to get political, but just with all the unrest going on with the trade war and the Hong Kong stuff, it's like it's not like if you think the Chinese government is thinking about TikTok as just like a silly little app that makes them money.
Yeah,
it's just not the case. They are thinking about it in terms of outreach and things like that.
Countries have realized that culture is an export.
Yeah.
You look at Korea and
South
K-pop.
Korea, yeah.
That South Korea, it was K-pop was pretty deliberate by the government. They were like, culture is a huge thing to make money, and it's working. K-pop is, Americans have bought into it. So China, you're completely right. China's not like, here's this, the way, if I'm to understand it correctly, the way business works in China is it's like a communist capitalist mixture where, yes, there is capitalism, but the government has a big say in which companies do well. So the Chinese government is likely pretty involved with TikTok, likely knows what's going on, especially how big it's becoming. It's not small anymore.
Well, and it's not just TikTok either. I believe the company... ByteDance, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Well, TikTok is their main thing. They definitely have other projects too that are fairly popular.
In America?
I don't know, but in China, like the way Chinese company
being in
works
America,
are weird.
I think
that specifically is unique.
And that's another thing that makes TikTok. So we're saying where's TikTok going to be? And that's because it could be nowhere. That's the truth.
Right.
It could just be nowhere.
Yeah.
It's because it's a Chinese company coming into America, having as much of an influence as it has. It makes it volatile because America's investigating them. America's like, you could be brainwashing people. It feels like being brainwashed when you're on the For You page. It literally feels like you're being brainwashed.
Yeah, it does.
It's just images and images and images and images, and you can't look away. Yeah. And it's like if China wanted to use that, we have these notes. Nowhere does it say China. This is definitely a rabbit hole.
Yes.
But it's just, and I don't really have too much of an opinion on it. I don't know enough to have an opinion on it, other than my opinion being it's volatile.
It's unique.
It's unique.
We're not sure what's going to happen, and even with like Vine, they just weren't able to make it work for the creators.
Yeah.
The same thing happens for TikTok. Is it just going to die, or wait a second, is the creator base at a young enough age where it doesn't matter that much, or they're just making videos for the fun of it anyway?
And I think that's the as it exists right now, I think it's like they don't cater to creators, and that's working. They cater to the video because I think people are none the wiser. Everyone says, make me famous, and they don't even understand what fame is. You getting a viral video does not make you but you getting a viral video does not make you famous. You don't become famous by posting a viral video that has nothing to do with you or anything like that. But you're still gonna keep trying, and if they can just make that continue to be the culture where it's just like, listen, like this is what we are. Yeah. You make a video that has viral potential, it goes on. It's hard to do that consistently. How's it going?
Who are you talking to?
Each other.
This guy.
With the camera. Yeah, it's a YouTube
thing. We're
video.
live, actually. Everybody's saying hi to you. They can see you.
Hi, guys.
They can't see you.
Can't see you.
It's also not live.
Okay, I was like... You look like you're so intently talking to a camera,
when there's a camera, you just amp it up a little bit. They're not going to be able to hear her, I think, on the... Whatever, it doesn't matter.
We can cut it
out. I don't want to cut it out, I want to have it just be...
flowy.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, okay, let's back up a little bit. Let's get out of that pit a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
Let's talk about the song that you released. Not
Okay,
released.
well, how about just, like, what happened?
18 seconds.
So
Yeah.
I was on TikTok for a while. Like you
Yes.
said, I chose to jump on,
He's a funny guy. He was doing skits and stuff.
which didn't work.
No.
So I guess
Still doesn't work.
I'm not that funny. Even when I try to do like the funny stuff, I'm like this. Okay, that's not your thing. People don't want it. I think I have too much like Vine humor, and we've just evolved past that.
Yeah.
It's not like that
You're
anymore.
not good enough at dancing.
And you want to know what people? Oh yeah, for sure. No, I can't dance. People keep saying they're like, I miss Vine, and I was like that for a while. And you want to know what? I'm like, I don't miss Vine anymore. I like TikTok. You know, I like this
Yeah.
culture is fine. It does just fine. And this is the culture I understand now, and I don't hate it. But basically, I joined. Like you said, I don't want to say I saw an opportunity. Like Vine was my missed chance at media recording has been stopped automatically. Card full. Oh, that filled up.
The card is full, people.
All right. Well, apparently I chose the smallest memory card possible because we ran out of
In 17 minutes.
ran out of space and really quickly. So we'll try to wrap things up before this memory card.
We better.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, I forget now what we were talking about.
Let's talk about Soulmate song.
Okay. Yeah. For sure. Or just like combined with that, everything that's happened. So. Anyways, like I was on the app, I made this decision. I was like, I'm not like bought in, but it's just a good app to be on, and it really wasn't even pushing music. I think I had the mentality of like, oh, I'll push my music later, but I just kind of want to create fun content. And
See how that does.
I had things go viral occasionally, every now and then, and I actually think that that's like but it was never connected to me. It was never like, no one was ever like that guy, and that's kind of what I mean by TikTok values the video over the person. So the trap that a lot of people get into, I think, where it's like if you are wanting to do well on the app and be recognized, just trying to clout chasing and just trying to make something go viral isn't your best bet, because people are going to remember your video, not you. And that's just the way it is. And eventually what you're going to have is a bunch of dead followers. You see a lot of accounts, people ask a lot, they're like, what is a good amount of followers on TikTok? And it's like, that is a complicated question, because I'll see accounts with a lot of followers and zero engagement, and all that is just they grinded forever and ever and ever. And it's if you're grinding on TikTok, it's kind of just impossible not to gain followers. That's another thing that's different about it, is like there's just everything's getting thrown everywhere. You're bound to get responses, and a lot of those responses might just be people who are bots, people who are never going to watch your video again. People give their likes away or give their follows away way too easily, and you're never going to show up on their For You or on their following page even after they do like it.
So many people.
Yeah, and so that's kind of the road. I had gotten up to like 5,000 followers, I think, and I think a lot of it was kind of like it was that where I don't think any of them were people who cared about who I was. Then I posted this song. Like it's so random, like you can just make a decision, spur of the moment that ends up having a lot of meaning. And I had written the Soulmates song a while ago, months ago, in fact. And that's kind of what I was saying before about how I was like, I showed it to people and it was like, oh, like, you get mixed responses even. Like, I got mixed responses. And then I just was like, oh, I'm bored. Maybe this would make a good TikTok. Maybe I should try to push my music a little bit more.
Right.
Maybe I should try to like show people my songwriting. Not that I have anything outside of TikTok for music. I have a song on Spotify, one song, but no one was listening to it. Really, no one was listening to it. And I don't really blame myself. It just wasn't being marketed.
Yeah, you can't just release something and expect it to get attention.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless it's exceptional, which happens sometimes. But
exactly.
So it wasn't very spectacular for you.
No. I just went to GarageBand. I'm not a producer. Yeah. I just did some humming. I just sang it. I did what I could do because I'm not like I said, I'm not a producer.
You gotta do.
And I just woke up the next morning and I was like, whoa, 1,000 new subscribers overnight. And then I looked and I saw that my TikTok was doing well, and then I kept opening it throughout the day, like while I was at work. It was like 2,000 more.
And you texted me early that morning, I think, or was that the same day? And you're like, "Man, this one's getting kind of popular."
Yeah.
And I was checking it out, and I was like, "Yeah, cool." And then just throughout the day, it's just ramped up.
Keep checking it, and it just keeps going up. The thing that was different about that post was I had a post. My most viral post prior to that was this post where I threw an old iPod and I threw an iPhone, and the joke was that I didn't really throw the iPhone. I just gently let it down, and it was testing which one's more durable, and it was just like a funny joke. That got up to 1 million views, and that maybe got me 1,000 new followers.
Right.
This video was way different. You know, this video, the views to followers. I made a video that was people wanted to invest in me.
Right.
You know, people wanted to listen to what I would.
They wanted to hear more of the song.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, I think it actually works to my advantage a little bit that I put a song out that wasn't at all finished.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's been so fun about it, because, you know, just if anyone doesn't know, I put the song out on TikTok, and that's sort of what's helped me blow up. Not blow up, but just do better, because,
Right.
you know, a month could go by and everything could tank. That's just how it is. But it's been a blast, and I'm kind of happy it's not finished. I'm happy that I'm putting segments out progressively. I think that's more fun.
Thing. Yeah,
I don't see anybody else doing it, for sure.
To build it up over time and have people react and give feedback during that process.
I think my one fear would be is I'm like, just guys, like, don't sleep on other stuff, though. Which, if you go to my Spotify, the listens on Budding Romance, my song on Spotify, they've gone up.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah,
there are people who aren't
right.
only focused on that, and that makes me so happy to see. And really,
what it comes down to is you need to make more full-length music as well.
Yeah, for sure.
You need to give
and so maybe we can just talk about that. Like, that's
right.
Who are we? So
okay, and what we're working on. Yeah,
yeah,
it's a good transition.
That was what we had first, but
we skipped it.
We skipped it completely. Who are we? Like I said, Carson. I'm the youngest of 5. 3 older brothers, 1 older sister, and I started taking voice lessons when I was 6 years old, and started writing songs when I was about like 14 or 15. Mm-hmm. And up till now, all of that has basically meant nothing.
Yeah.
In a real way. Well, I've done a lot of performances. But in terms of like gaining an audience, you've won
enough talent shows that you've made decent money.
Yes.
Like,
so that helped me get through college and pay for stuff. But in terms of what's the actual goal? You know, I don't want to be a performer. I want to make my own music. You know,
right.
In terms of that type of success, all of it, it's only just recently has that actually been there's an audience listening now who wants to hear the next thing.
But the cool thing about that is you have so much potential now that you have all that history of writing. Well, you have so many songs. It's like
you're right.
We literally just need to figure out the most effective way to get them made to sound how you want them to sound.
And a lot of people say you should release, release more songs. They act like that's such a simple task.
It's hard.
And it's listen, I can't just go to my setup here and record it the way I recorded the Soulmates song, because I'm gonna put something on Spotify. It's got to be good.
It's different.
It's different, but also it's just the bar for quality is so much higher for Spotify.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are like, you shouldn't release whatever you want. It's like, I want stuff to have a chance.
Yeah,
you know?
and it's so interesting with all these self-produced people, the most recent one that I've been interested in is Dayglow. They have that one song that's famous on TikTok. He produced all his stuff in his bedroom. There are so many examples of that. People are like, oh, it's easy to produce music in your bedroom.
No, these are really talented people.
These are talented people.
Yeah.
And that's not a skill that you've developed.
No. And
you focused on the songwriting aspect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that, I don't want to undervalue songwriting. I think songwriting is there's a lot of people who are just songwriters, and they don't handle that end of production. I'm talking like I know the music industry, and I don't. I've just watched videos, and this is a perception I've gotten. Right. There are people where it's like, no, your job is just come up with a top line, which is just the melody and the lyrics, really. Come up with a top line, come up with a hook, and that's the skill I've always, like you said, that's the skill I've always worked on. But I think it's not like just now I started. Like you said before, I'd been writing for so long,
right.
And it's starting to sort of pay off a little bit, I think. And I'll say, even if all that ever happened was just what's happened so far, does still feel worth it to me. There's been so many comments, so many Instagram DMs of people saying really insanely nice things. Some people saying hey, because the soulmate song goes just know it breaks my heart when soulmates die 10 years apart and lonely love is left to sit and wait. But a lot of people talked about personal stories about parents they had who died separately, or they themselves who had loved ones die separately, and people saying what the song means to them. And then some people just all they're doing is just complimenting me, is just saying oh this, and it's all of that is okay, this was all worth it because this is awesome. It's one of those things where prior to this, you don't know if anything you've written is worth anything. You know,
you had no market validation, so to speak.
Exactly. No, that's a perfect way to put it. As far as you, like I said, you really only get certain types of responses from family and friends, and
like very often, right? You'll come to me with like, oh, I wrote this lyric, whatever, and my response is just like, I don't know. I can't. It's so hard to give feedback because as your friend, I want to be honest with you. If I don't like it, I'm going to tell you I don't like it. But even if
I want from friends,
right?
Yeah.
But you still want to be tactful about it. And frankly, I don't know anything about songwriting, so it's not easy. Like. Yeah, it's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
So to have so many other people
it happens
validate.
a lot.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like songwriting is probably one of the things I've worked so hard at with zero return for such a long time. Where like and it's on. I'm not gonna say on purpose, but it's like I wasn't putting stuff out there. I wasn't putting myself out there. No. Kind of like I'm doing now. So it's my fault.
Well, I think there are so many people who do that though. Who produce music. And they're very talented, but really they're missing the marketing side of things.
Yeah.
But that is in many ways more important than their talent, which is kind of sad to say.
It is.
But I feel like it's kind of the case.
With my job kind of... so I work at a church. I'm a videographer. But a lot of my job has become marketing.
Yeah.
And not to say like marketing in a church sounds wrong, but I just try to make videos. If we want to promote a new series, I try to make a video that's fun and gripping and makes you want to come back. Mm-hmm. And I'm having a ball with that type of work. I think that's so much fun. And now applying it to myself is like, how can I make good content that people are going to want to hear, and how can I be creative about it? Not to be... This is not at all me, but like you think about Bella Delphine and like the bathwater thing. It's like, I'm sorry, but that was excellent marketing.
Could you imagine?
Like it was amazing. That would be hilarious. Maybe we should. Like I literally, and just like it's like to market it. There's just a picture of me like in the bath where like the water's like up to here. Okay, I'm not that hairy. Hold up.
All right, but that would be freaking hilarious.
Yeah, that would be really funny.
Hilarious.
I'm honestly like
tempted now.
Put in the comments. You want my bathroom? No, I think like working at a church, I just can't do that.
Yeah, there's just no way. You get fired probably.
Like one of the pastors comes up to me. So you're selling bathwater? Yeah, and so who is Connor?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm his friend. It's kind of simple. You kind of dragged me into this against my will.
Not against. Well, I convinced you. I sold it.
Yeah, okay.
Marketing, baby.
That's right. So I live in North Carolina, and he lives in New York. So I'm not around here. I used to live with him. We're very close. But you texted me. We've kept in contact, and you texted me when you released that one song, and you're like, "Hey, it's doing really well." And I continually was checking it through the day, and it got to a point where I was like, "Wow, this is doing really well."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, this is kind of impressive." And then you're like, "Yeah, I might need you to manage me." And I'm like, well, I don't know about that. I'm not convinced yet. And then the song just kept doing better and better and better. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess if people want to hear this kind of stuff, and the truth is, things,
I think it's like you just need to see there's potential, and you also know Carson can't handle a lot of this stuff on his own. He can't like.
And part of it is that.
I've had people say like, oh, your website looks, that's great. You have a website. You have all the right stuff. It's impressive. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, it's all Connor. Like it's all him.
Well, it was an interesting decision for me because I had to give stuff up in a weird way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because it's like I just have less time now. I'm not that busy of a person, but I'm doing my own thing. I don't have a real job. I work for myself. And I have a lot of ideas of things I don't want to work on, as you know. And so for me to say, like, I'm going to put a lot of that on hold to help you with this because I think this is more of a priority right now, you had to convince me. It wasn't easy.
And I couldn't have done it without TikTok. Like, you couldn't have done it without TikTok.
Without the marketing that came from that.
Yeah, for sure.
And not to mention the analytics for everything else that improved because of the marketing from TikTok, right? You go on the Spotify, and it's like if you look at it before it happened, it's literally like flat, and then it's like whoosh.
Yeah.
And it's not like we're at a high spot either, but it just shows.
It's obvious.
Quickly,
this has had an effect on Spotify. It's had an effect on YouTube. I was at probably 150 subscribers on YouTube. Now we're sitting at like 4K.
And with just that song, you were in over 1,000 after like a week after doing nothing.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
My Instagram, everything, not Twitter so much. I always
don't post on Twitter.
You're right. I don't post. I have this dream though, but I see the greats posting on Twitter. I see Elon Musk and Kanye and Trump, and not that I want to be like, but just like you don't
want to tweet like Trump,
it feels like that's the place for like like status,
like real ballers.
At the end of the day, I'm just like all the people on TikTok. Probably not a lot of them are paying attention to Twitter, so I don't really need to.
Kind of different universes. I feel like. Yeah. So anyway, I'm helping you out with managing stuff, and the cool thing is that we did a lot of music together too. That's kind of what's unique about it is we played gigs for like 2 years almost.
Yeah, just
I just play guitar and ukulele, and you sing obviously. So we would sit there and we do like small restaurants and stuff,
just covers and stuff.
Yeah, and we have a 2-hour set list that we could do fairly confidently, I guess. I'm not exceptional by any means, but I was able to keep up a little bit.
This is fun,
and
it was money too, which helped out. Like not tons of money, but you get a $100 or $200 paycheck, especially when you're a student. That's
for an hour's work.
For doing hardly anything, for doing something you just can do.
Yeah,
it's definitely, it makes it a lot easier for sure. But that's kind of how we've gotten to where we are.
And I still live in North Carolina, so I'm going to be working remotely for the most part. But if things trend in the right direction even more, we'll have to figure out what we're gonna do there between moving and getting I don't want to say a studio because that's probably not the right thing, but getting set up where we need to be.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of what is so. What is the future?
Right.
And I think the most important thing is to just take it day by day. And just focus on the next TikTok, focus on the next.
Yeah, but we also have some longer term.
I don't want to.
Yeah,
like there's definitely long term plans. There's full length songs that are currently being focused on right now. They're like, we want to get this out. We just need to figure out how to produce it. We need to find the right people to work with.
Yeah. So if you're a producer, we're genuinely like. DM him on Instagram.
Yeah, for sure.
We see every DM at the very least. Yeah. Well, there's just so many now.
Yeah, there's been a lot lately. I mean, email. Definitely.
Email too.
All can be found on my website, which is linked to my Instagram.
We want to work with good producers.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Really, I think we want to work with them in person. We don't want to just do a remote collaboration.
Yeah, that would be the dream. That would be the dream for sure.
Yeah, and we're more than willing.
So if you know anybody too, that also works.
He's talented. He's got potential as a producer. You should want to get on board.
There's no way for me to respond to
There's
that.
We should probably end this. I think it's getting long.
Yeah, I think it's probably a good time to bring this.
I guess what we can
close.
just to say to close it is that I want him to go full time at music. He has a full time job. It's distracting.
I've been exhausted. Not only do I have a full time job, but it's.
I can't get done when I need to.
I'm a videographer, so it's like when it's a skill intensive job. Like I spend my whole day thinking creatively and thinking and editing and making decisions and stuff. It really is exhausting. And then coming home and then being like, all right, all that stuff that you just juiced, you need more of it now. There was the other day I came home from work and I sat in bed at 7 being like, I need a nap. And then I was gone the
whole night.
Yeah.
Which is good to get that sleep back because you're exhausted, but it's also not great for productivity. That's fine. We can end it, right? No, we should do a little outro.
Yeah. We're at low battery 2.
Great. So let's just wrap this guy right up.
We need to buy a bigger SD card so that this doesn't happen again ever. Although you're going to be leaving, so it won't matter as much. But you'll visit. You'll visit. Yeah, I'm going to try to do more of these by myself.
Let's end talking about going full time and then just do a little goodbye.
I think we talked about it a lot. We just kind of talked about the need. It's hard to remember because it's. Even though I'm gonna cut this together, it's still for us. It's been like 20 minutes since we were talking.
Well, basically, I want him to go full time at music. To do that, he would need to be compensated, which means we need to monetize this a bit, which means we need to put out music to be able to monetize, as well as other channels,
merchandise and stuff.
Merchandise.
And I don't want to put out crappy merchandise either. I want to figure out how to do it in a fun way and
you want to come up?
In a way.
Yeah, it's it's kind of an art getting this stuff figured out. But that's what we're gonna be looking forward to.
That's what hiring a manager is for.
Yeah. So watch out for new stuff and stay tuned and give us your money.
Don't word it like that.
I'm kidding.
I think
we're considering.
I give you content, and then this is bad. We were.
You can cut that part out.
We were on a good roll before. All right. Anyways, I think this is a good place.
It stopped twice. I'm tired now.
To close up.
Buddy.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching. My website is linked on YouTube. Definitely check it out to find my socials and my music and stuff. And if you did watch this whole thing, really appreciate it.
Look at him.
So glad that you watched. He's very cute. All right.
Have a good night, guys.
Thank you very much for tuning in.